YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, we're gonna talk about the Washington Commanders possibly winning Jimmy Garoppolo this past offseason, and we're gonna also talk about what you see on your screen now is the Washington Commanders' new mascot. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when new content is posted to the channel like this one. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Also, don't forget, this Sunday, I will be hosting a live watch party at Martini's Bar and Lounge, 725 Caddy Drive, Fort Washington, Maryland. Whether you're a Washington Commanders fan or Dallas Cowboys fan, I would love to see some of you guys come through, have a good time with your boy, meet me, watch the game with me as we root on our beloved teams. Again, 725 Caddy Drive, live watch party at Martini's Bar and Lounge in Fort Washington, Maryland. I will love to see some of you guys there. Can't wait to see some of you guys there. And again, flyer is on my channel, it's on my community wall, it's on Instagram, so it's not hard to find. Again, I would love to see some of you guys there. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's video. So it's a Dallas week, baby. It's Dallas week. No upload yesterday, just because I want to take a little day off, you know what I'm saying? But we back in action. Dallas week, Wednesday. We got a lot to do. We got a lot to clean up. We got a lot to get better at. We're sitting at 1-2, last in the division. And we got to get back in action, man. We got to get back in action. Got to get back in that left-hand column. No, like Terry McLaurin said, it's no time to get down on each other. It's no time to, worry about the past. It's no time to do all that. Just reflect and get better. And straight like that. That's what we got to do, man. We got a big game. This is a must-win game, and I'll come up with a video later in the week, probably Thursday or Friday, where I'll be talking about how this is a must-win game, because we cannot fall behind 1-3. The way the Eagles are playing, we can't fall behind 1-3 in the division and 0-2 in the division, or 1-3 in the NFL is our record, but 0-2 in the division. It's gonna be very, very hard to get out of that hole if we're 0-2 in the division. So we got a very, very hard task ahead of us, and I hope we're up for the challenge. We'll be donning the all blacks this week, so that should be fun to watch. That should be fun and interesting to check out to see how the all black uniforms are going to be. But very, very tough game. And let's get into this news, because I want to address this. The news came out like a couple days ago about how Washington was interested in Jimmy Garoppolo before they got Carson Wentz this offseason, and the reason that they didn't get him was because of his shoulder injury. And Ron Rivera basically addressed it and called it bullcrap, which I don't believe. But we're going to read this article from the Commander Wire, who always does a really good job. Let's see what they have to say, and I'll get my opinion on it. So this is Washington Commanders head coach, genuinely pretty stocked sometimes. He got fired up, but more often than not, he keeps his emotion in checks, which is a sign of a good leader. After Washington's 24-8 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles Sunday, Rivera discussed the game and was then asked about the ESPN report saying that the Commanders almost had a deal in place to acquire 49ers quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo before pivoting and trading for Carson Wentz. According to the ESPN report, it was Garoppolo's shoulder injury that led Washington to focus on Wentz. Rivera was displeased with the report, specifically the timing of it. He said this, and I quote, this is Ron Rivera: "You guys that was a bullcrap report. Just so everyone understands that Rivera said, okay, I didn't talk to anybody about that. I'm not sure where it all comes from. I'm disappointed that it came out like that, especially in today's game. I really am, but because I didn't talk to anybody about Jimmy Garoppolo. The timing is what really upsets me." Rivera is right here. We also addressed the issue of the timing. The original story came out last week, but Adam Schefter pushes the stories to Sunday morning, which is often does in the eye of sports world are on the NFL. So let me address that part of it right there. So Ron Rivera, he basically was frustrated with the timing of the report and people saying that we wanted Jimmy Garoppolo at that specific time, which he has all right to be mad about. I understand that. But let's not act like Ron Rivera didn't talk to Jimmy Garoppolo. Washington was very, very interested in Jimmy Garoppolo, and I will be honest with you, if it wasn't for the shoulder injury, I think Jimmy Garoppolo would be our starting quarterback right now at this very, very moment. Whether Jimmy Garoppolo wanted to be or not, I think he had his no trade clause, and he said no, he didn't want to come to Washington. But I felt like it would have been a way we would have possibly got Jimmy Garoppolo if it wasn't for the shoulder surgery. So that is what my take is on that part of it. But let's get back into the article here. Rivera spoke more about the topic. Yeah, we're getting ready to play Philadelphia. Come on, that's why I'm disappointed. I really am, Rivera said, because, again, I think whatever it is, for whatever reason, does it really have to get out there, or can they wait until we finish our game, then come out? I'm just disappointed it got out. We've discussed over and over how we perceive bias against Wentz. The amount of veto directed at Wentz from the specific media members is over the top at times. No one is saying Wentz is an elite quarterback, but but the disrespect directed at him is puzzling. On the day he is scheduled to face his former team, ESPN decides to push a report saying, hey, you weren't your new team's first choice or even second choice. There was nothing wrong with the initial report from last week. If the facts are correct, Rivera disputes them. However, Schefter pushing the story back into the public limelight on Sunday was another poor example to gain social media clout at the expense of Wentz and the Commanders. So that's what that article says, and I completely agree with Ron Rivera and the Commander Wire, man. You're going to put out an article. It doesn't matter that you put out an article. If you put out this article 2 weeks ago in the offseason, okay, fine. But you put out this article saying, hey, we wanted Jimmy Garoppolo, but because of his shoulder surgery, we decided to go with Carson Wentz on the day he's set to face his former team. Could that have been a reason? He probably saw that pregame. Could that have been a reason why he played a little off? I would think so. I'm not going to put the whole blame on that, but I would think so. You know, Wentz is a little mentally fragile. You know, things get to him easily. So he probably saw that, and he was a little down. But I do also want to say this. Ron Rivera, let's not act like you weren't interested in Jimmy Garoppolo. You went out your way to tell anybody that was listening that we are desperate for any quarterback. I mean, Russell Wilson, Jimmy Garoppolo, Carson Wentz, the list goes on. All these quarterbacks, Deshaun Watson, we were in on everybody. Baker Mayfield, we wanted a quarterback badly. So let's not act like you didn't want Jimmy Garoppolo. You wanted Jimmy Garoppolo, and I think honestly, if it wasn't for the shoulder surgery, he would be our quarterback right now. So I thank God that Jimmy Garoppolo had shoulder surgery at the time we were looking for a quarterback, because Jimmy Garoppolo is not better than Carson Wentz. Jimmy Garoppolo would have not gave us a better chance to win games than Carson Wentz. Jimmy Garoppolo is a much more professional Taylor Heineke. And he's a Walmart Alex Smith, okay? He's just a game manager. He's a guy that's never going to win you a game, but if you give him a lead, he will probably protect it. And notice I said probably protect it. He's never going to be a guy that's going to put you on his shoulders and win you game. He isn't going to throw the ball down the field. It's going to be dink and dunk handoffs, and we're going to win games 13-10 if we win games. But if we get down a possession or two, we lost. You're not coming back with Jimmy Garoppolo at the helm. So I'm very excited that we didn't get Jimmy Garoppolo. I like Carson Wentz more than Jimmy Garoppolo. I would much rather have a quarterback throw the ball down the field, try to move the ball instead of just being scared with it and not taking risk. Give me a chance to win a game. Don't be scared with it and just try to play mistake-free football. You know, you're not going to give your team chances to win if you're down by 2 possessions. Jimmy Garoppolo is a very, very good quarterback if you up and you have a really good defense. But if you take everything into perspective and look at these first 3 weeks of the season, do you really think Jimmy Garoppolo would have worked out here? Take in factor the injuries. Take in factor how poor this offensive line has been doing. Because everybody wants to talk about Wentz not escaping pressure and not using his legs. Carson Wentz is way more athletic than Jimmy Garoppolo. So take that into perspective. Take into perspective how poor this defense has been playing. They're coming off a really solid performance this past game. But take into stance how poor this defense has started off the season. Do you really think we would be in a better situation than we are now with Carson Wentz, with Jimmy Garoppolo? Would we really? I think we would probably be 0-3 with Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't think he probably doesn't even beat Jacksonville in the way, if that game plays the way it did. Exactly, but you replace Carson Wentz with Jimmy Garoppolo. Does Jimmy Garoppolo make that throw to Jahan Dotson in the back of the end zone? I don't think so. So I'm way more happier than with Carson Wentz. Has it been pretty to start the season? No, it hasn't. He's been solid. He didn't have a good game last week. But does this Adam Schefter report play in the fact of it? I think it does. Because we know Carson Wentz If he sees the slightest bit of adversity as far as, someone coming for his job or something like that, he gets down. He was pressing. He was overthinking. He wanted to get this revenge badly, so he forgot his mechanics. Carson Wentz, man, it was clear as day that he wasn't focused. He wasn't locked in. He was overthinking. Clear as day. And I think this article has something to do with it. But I don't want Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm so glad we didn't get Jimmy Garoppolo. He is horrible. I mean, this guy literally pulled off the Dan Orflarski where he went out the back of the end zone and still tried to throw it. And then he stopped Dan Orflarski because he threw a pick on the same play. Pick 6. Jimmy Garoppolo is horrible. So for all the people that wanted him, that are going to comment down below on this video and say, Juan, you're tripping, Jimmy Garoppolo would be better, please tell me how. Carson Wentz, out of all the crap quarterbacks that we could have got, Carson Wentz probably was the best one. Matt Ryan is horrible at this point in the age of his career. I mean, when you look at Matt Ryan and try to put him in again, take it as an overall view. Look at the whole overall team and tell me, would Matt Ryan fit here? No, he wouldn't. Matt Ryan is a statue. He's old and he's a statue. So would he be good behind his offensive line? No. Would he be better with these weapons? No, maybe, but I think Carson Wentz, with the circumstances that we had and the quarterbacks that we had to choose from, he probably was the best one that we went with. And I'm glad that Jimmy Garoppolo had shoulder surgery, because if that wasn't the case, I think Jimmy Garoppolo would be your quarterback right now, ladies and gentlemen. But that's just my take on it. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. Let's move on to the next topic here. So as you see on your screen, you got 2 mascots. So the Washington Commanders, these are supposedly their 2 mascots. You got a dog and you got a hog or a pig, or how do you guys feel about that? Me personally, I don't really care that much about the mascot. It would be cool to have one because we never really had one. I would probably go with the pig though, man. Just because the dog, the Browns, they already a dog, and it wouldn't make sense. But then again, we got a dog named Mando. That probably would be the dog's mascot name right there. So maybe it makes sense. But I would probably go with the hog. Right there on the left, but that's just something a little fun and creative that I wanted to throw in with the video. The mascot, apparently these are the 2 options left. We don't know what's really going to happen until that week 17 contest versus the Cleveland Browns, when they're going to unveil the mascot. But I'm assuming that they're going to go with Hog, just because they want to keep some of that that back in the day, or that old culture, just to keep the history around a little bit. So that's what I think they're going to do there. But yeah, man, it's been boy Juan Gotti. I want to come on here to talk about that. Let me just look at this video in the comment section down below. It is Dallas week, ladies and gentlemen. A huge game. We have to win this game. We're on the verge of facing 1-3, so we have to win this game. We're going to get more on that later in the week. The boys hit the practice field for the first time today. I think they're actually just now going out there because it is 11 a.m. as I'm recording this. So practice may just begin underway. So we'll get the injury report, all of that for the first day of the week of practice for you guys out here shortly. Hopefully we can change that this week and we can get happy again. But yeah, man, it's me, Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hail to the Washington Commanders. Want to go to 5,000 subscribers? Hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Don't forget, this weekend, Sunday, 12 p.m., I will be hosting a live watch party. Washington Commanders versus Dallas Cowboys. Come through. Martini's Barn Lounge in Fort Washington, Maryland, 725 Caddy Drive. Come meet your boy. Come watch the game with me and have a good time. It's always me, Juan Gotti. I'm out. Peace. Cost me one time, that's gonna get you pop.